Good morning, everyone. This is Christine Harris. I am back with a few more items for my 100 Things challenge with Dances with Pit Bulls, Rebecca. And it is a few items that I have made for someone, but I thought that I would go ahead and use them for my items on the challenge as well. Some of them were strictly made to use up the scraps, which I think is basically the idea of the whole challenge in the first place. But anyway, the first thing I had to make was this. Didn't have to make it. I chose to make it. Um, was this shabby top hat. I made it with white lace and a pink feather and pink flower. I put a doily on the top that I used some ink to highlight the edges of the doily. I put a butterfly in the back, which I highlighted with ink. The beads around the edge here and here have pink ribbon, very pale pink ribbon behind them. There's a little crocheted doily behind the flower here, and some strung beads around the top. And I like these little ribbon tails in the back. I wish I'd have made them just slightly longer, but you can't add back to the material. So that's my altered top hat, shabby chic style. Then I made 4 stick pins. There's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And this one has a dangle on it. And then also for the same person, same project, I made a dangle. Has lots of little charms on it. A half moon with a fairy and another fairy down here. And I got this in one of my bags of junk jewelry, and I just thought it was so cute. So I hope that she will enjoy that. Then the next thing I did, I was watching a video, and she was making these envelopes. I may have even been a project for the 100 Things Challenge, but she was making these envelopes that hold an ATC card, or yeah, an ATC card. And I thought, oh, that's a very cute idea. It could also be used for, any other little item and stuff. So I just took my big drawer of patterned paper scraps. My mouth is like cotton this morning. Patterned paper scraps, and I just started pulling out any piece that was big enough to cut the square in order to end up with these envelopes. And I just made up a whole bunch of them, and thought, well, I'll keep those on hand And I've got so much more in my drawer. I'm going to continue to make up a bunch more. In fact, I think I'm going to make several more styles. So different sizes, you know what I mean. I have acquired a bunch of velvet ribbon, and I thought, well, this would be really cute if I could make one the right size and right length to put a roll of the uh, uh, velvet ribbon, you know, a couple of yards of velvet ribbon in it. That way, whenever I want to give somebody uh, some of the velvet ribbon, then I have it in a nice little envelope to send it in. So those are the ones that I've made so far. And like I said, I'm going to make a bunch more in different sizes and stuff like that. And then I received this, or I guess I bought it at Tuesday morning. This Tim Holtz die for the bows. And what I found two problems with this. Number one, it's longer than the glass that I have to run through my Big Shot. So I have to do one side, flip it around, and do the other side. And which at times, if it moves just slightly, gives me kind of a double cut. But I was pretty much able to work it out. And I'm just noticing now when I'm talking to you about this, it shows how to make the ribbons on the back, and that's not what I did. And actually, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong because things just didn't seem to be working out well. But anyway, this is the big bow, and then the medium-sized one, and the itty-bitty tiny one. Now, the problem I was having was I didn't know how they were folding this part here so that you could get this centerpiece on. Well, they had it coming straight out, which I didn't think was right because it barely, if you folded it in the right place where the little notches indicate that you're supposed to fold it and glue it down and stuff, then this really doesn't stick out beyond the front part. So I thought, well, they're supposed to turn down a little bit, and I kind of like them turned down a little bit. But then this piece didn't fit on it, and so on this one, I cut a little notch in the end parts to fit it in there. It didn't really like that. This one here, I just glued them a slight distance apart so that I could put this in between, and that worked out kind of well. And then there was one, which I think might have been this one, where I put this centerpiece on first, and then I glued them in the back. Then I rolled it and glued it in the back. And I don't know, I kind of like the way some of these have turned out. It was my first time, and I was experimenting and stuff. And I have 2 or 3 other methods of making bows. So anytime I have a long strip of paper out of my big box of designer paper, I'm going to run a couple more of these off and make a few more of these. So that'll be fun. And then I haven't finished this one, but I started playing with this. I saw I had made an arrangement to send one of my fellow scrappers an altered spoon. Um, and I've already made the altered spoon for her, but I saw a video for this and I thought, oh, that's a cute idea too. Well, what they had done in the video is they cut the spoon handle off here and they put a rondelle on it and made a necklace out of it. And I thought, well, I don't really want to do that because it's supposed to be an altered spoon. So I did the bowl part the way that they did with the Mod Podge and the glitter and the little filigree with a little piece on the top of the filigree and stuff. And what I'm going to do now is figure out how I'm going to decorate the handle to complete the project, leaving the handle on. I really like the way that she did the pennants, but like I said, the point of this was for an altered spoon. So I want to continue to make it as a spoon. And like I said, I haven't finished that project, but I'm having fun with it, and I think it's going to turn out really nice and stuff. And I think that is all that I have made lately. So I left off at number 13. So this will be number 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So I'm moving right along. And if you're interested in giving the challenge a try, it's really fun. You're not supposed to buy anything for it. You just use up whatever you have in stock, which basically is practically what I'm doing with everything I do right now. Since I have a mini craft store right here in my living room. Um, um, so what you do is you just use up what you have on hand and make whatever you want to make. You don't have to send anything in. You just have to take a video of it. And like I said, it was Dances with Pit Bulls with Rebecca, by Rebecca. And check her out. You got a year to make 100 items. Sounds like fun to me, and so I'm giving it a challenge. So until next time, I will see you soon.